So as we're preparing our green beans here that I've washed already, so we have green beans, and this is our mushrooms. I have my mushrooms, and we're just going to use regular salt and pepper, garlic, and some olive oil on these vegetables as we saute them. And this is a vegetable that I'm definitely cooking for my spouse. So we're just going to saute these vegetables. Did you see I'm adding my and I'm going to show you a little flavor that I like to add to my vegetables, which is Italian dressing. So I use this a lot in a lot of my vegetables that I cook, and it just add that extra flavor to them. So I'm going to add some oil because I want to baste my vegetables a little bit, and we're only going to use about 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil. And I'll go ahead on and use a tablespoon so you can see me measure that. So we're just going to use about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And what that does, you want to just get you a nice spoon, and you want to just baste that really well. And I'm putting them in my pan because I don't want them to start cooking yet. So, because I don't even have all the seasoning, so I just want to baste it really well to get that olive oil on all of the veggies. So I have some Italian seasoning because I'm going to use this, and I'm also using Italian dressing, so that's going to give this a good flavor. And you could go your seasoning have to be to your liking. So I always try to tell people that you season your food like you like it. If you don't want that much Italian, then don't use that much Italian. But I'm going to let these simmer. I always say that. We're going to let this simmer. Okay. And here's our salt. Now, this is where I am going to use salt because there is nothing that I have put on these vegetables where it contains sodium. So I can add my sodium to the vegetables. But when we're doing things like we did earlier with the teriyaki sauce and with the soy sauce, you notice we didn't add salt. So here, we're not adding anything to the vegetables that already have sodium in it outside of what we're going to use the Italian dressing for. That has a little bit of sodium, so go light on the salt still. But you do, since these are fresh veggies, you do want to add a little sodium. So that is all I have in here so far is my Italian seasoning. I have some olive oil that I basted real well with olive oil. And I'm just going to let them simmer. And this is one thing about, this is what we call the copper chef pan. I love this pan because you don't have to worry about using a lot of oil. Your vegetables will not stick in this pan. So it cooks vegetables and even meats really well. So I'm just going to let that simmer. I want to wait, and I'm not going to add my Italian dressing because I want it to cook a little bit before I add this because I want the flavors to be in there when we eat it. Okay, so I don't want the cooking process to absorb all the flavor from the Italian dressing. So we're going to wait a little while before we add this as a seasoning. Okay, and the only other vegetable we want to add is our black pepper. So I'm going to go ahead on and add some pepper to this, and you can hear it simmering already. And the only thing we have in here is Italian dressing. If you want to add some garlic, you can to your green beans. But I'm not going to add garlic to my vegetables. So that is a little bit of oil, and we're going to I have it on medium heat. I have my stove on medium, so we don't want to cook them too fast. And I'm just going to get the lid so I can cover my vegetables here. Put that lid on there so they can assemble. And I think I want to add one or two other ingredients to this, because I like a little color in my vegetables. Pimentos. And that's just a half a like 1/4 of a cup. This is going to give it a lot of flavor. When I cook fresh green beans, I either use pimentos or red bell pepper. But since I use red bell pepper in the rice, I'm going to use pimentos in my vegetable here. So that's just some regular diced pimentos, Food Lion brand that I have. Nothing expensive. So you want to add that there. And this is cooking really well. And I'm not using fatted meat, as you can see. Fried fatback, fried bacon, neck bone. No, but I will add a little bit of a tablespoon of a margarine in my vegetables. Okay. So this is going to cook really well. And I'm just going to show you here. I'm going to take my my measure. I love these nice little measuring glasses that I like to get. You know, there's Pampered Chef. They have, so every time I go to a Pampered Chef party, I normally order these. I think they come like 4 or 6 or 2 or whatever. But I love them because I can measure my food out in there. So I want you to see how much. This is 1/4 of a cup. Okay. That we're going to allow this to simmer a little bit. And if you can look in here, look at that. See? And it's already, if you notice, I hadn't made any juices in here, but I'm going to try to show you. See, it has good juices running from the vegetables. This is going to be good. So we'll let this cook for about 20 minutes. And I always like to show you how it looks in the pot. And you can hear it simmering. So I'm going to go ahead on, because that's cooked a little while. My vegetables are already getting soft. So I'm going to go ahead on and add my Italian dressing to this. That's my young man that just walked through there. He helps me with cooking too because he works at a restaurant. He's getting ready to go right now. He's the one who helped me to learn how I'm supposed to crush garlic. I didn't know. And he showed me how to do that. So we're just going to let that simmer. And that is our green beans and mushrooms sauteing. So we're going to saute those. So we're going to have green beans, mushroom, saute green beans and mushroom. We have our teriyaki glazed salmon and our stir-fried vegetable rice today.